Gon was the first to enter Greed Island, and now he awaits Killua's arrival before they both go adventuring on together and taking on whatever challenges they face together. Who are going to be some of the first new characters we meet? Will they be good? Will they be bad? Will they be allies? Will they be up to no good? Will we see some familiar faces? Because we know some of the Phantom Troop are here. Who else among them is going to enter as well? Let's find out in just a moment. What's up, guys? It's Jughead here. Welcome back to our Let's Watch Hunter x Hunter series. Today we are going to be watching episode 61, Invitation and Friend. And so, without any further ado, tune in to my full uncut reaction and stay for my in-depth analysis after the episode. So, Hunter x Hunter, episode 61 in 3, 2, 1. Let's watch. Killua, the first to step through the veil into Greed Island. Here he is. I sound like David Attenborough or something. This land is huge and vast. Now we must wait for Killua. If he takes long, who's out there? He's scanning the environment. You're being watched. Yeah, Killua, let's hurry up the process here. I know you're kind of in the back of the line, but we need to get going. Let's skip this. Invitation and Friend. Okay, I'm so excited. Now we're in Greed Island. Number 2, go on your merry way. We don't want you. It's just our boys. It's just our duo. They don't want to play with you. Sit in the shade. Admire the scenery for a while. There you go. What number of these people are going to die immediately? Oh, they're feeling the same thing. Other people are already grouping together, allying. I would not underestimate a single person in this game. They are here for a reason. Killua, woo! Now let's go on. Hands in pockets. It's chill. Good vibes. Until shit hits the fan. That's where we're being watched from. Damn. Other players that are already in are watching us? Or not proctors, but the creators of the game? Do they like to watch the contestants? A fresh start. Yeah, Gang didn't even leave him any cards. Again, like I said, a clean slate, empty book, fill the void that I was in your life with these cards. Oh, so he does have a ring. So everybody gets a ring? Who the hell is this? This is our first character. That must have been a game mechanic or something. Is that like a teleport? This is a video game, so everything's gonna be video game related. Oh, this is like Yu-Gi-Oh! Oh my god, this is like Yu-Gi-Oh! There's a screen in the book? What is he casting? Blue Eyes White Dragon. Pot of Greed. What is he? What are you doing? No cards in... What? How does he already know Killua's name? And you can connect to it this way. Oh, it's the card. Duh. I'm an idiot. The eyeball card. I need to pause so much. What the hell? I'm sorry. Complete data of one target. Complete data of one target player's restricted slots will be available at all times. Okay. Current location of one target oh my god. So he's like going after Killua. You can't run from spells in this game. They're guaranteed to hit. So there's a 100% hit rate. Yeah. You're about to witness Killua's assassin instincts come to the surface. He looks like an innocent youth, but he has lethal prowess. Don't fuck with him. Warp, so it's a teleport. Okay. Yeah. Fast travel. It's the fast travel in this video. Yeah. Just like our two boys shouldn't be underestimating anyone here either. Don't fucking underestimate our boys. So there's Trace. Okay. And a whole host of other cards. Who among you are gonna join? Shalnark wants to jump in. It isn't his goal though. What do you... something related to Crollo? What? So Shizuku, Kotropi, and Shalnark are joining in. They'll probably meet up with Phaeton and Finks. I like that. No point in worrying about it now. So he'll know where Killua and effectively Gon are at all times in the game. Kind of like when you mark a target in like an open world game, you enter a city, your field, your fog of war, your vision expands. I'm kind of relating this to Assassin's Creed and how that map system works, or games like that. Rock, paper, scissors, sword of truth. There you are. So they ended up where more of the other contestants were. Let's get your first prizes. we got empty bellies first. Tummy aching. If you can finish within 30 minutes, you don't need to pay. They're gonna tackle this easily. So this is one of our NPCs in the video game. Get some dialogue options. So he's fake. He's conjured. Yeah, he's an in-game, he's an NPC, but you can get some information out of him. Maybe some side missions. You're about to get a... This reminds me of The Witcher 2, where you could play card games and get their cards, or talk to random NPCs and buy the cards from them. One of the islands, 3... How difficult? So F is really not... Yeah, F is super easy. So this is a pretty dog shit card. Next to the rank is the item's maximum transformation limit. So you can transform this card 185 times. So it's basically, if you're hungry, you can eat. You can eat this fish. Is that what it is? I don't... Like a consumable? A basic consumable? And he's already dead. What did I say? His body suddenly exploded from the inside. Are all of these NPCs too? Yeah, somebody's already dead. And now you're dead in real life. So, remind me what that means for the outside world. Game overs for him. So, the ring gets destroyed. The book. No spell can kill. Who are you? He died from another player's nen. Player hunting. You want each other's cards. If there's only a maximum amount of transformations or a certain amount of cards in the first place, you gotta kill to reset parts of the game. How do you know that? Ah, you were one of the ones watching us? Okay. Makes sense. Catch a glimpse of the new players coming in. I would go with them. You need to make friends in this game. But do Gon and Killua want to do that? Like I was saying in my last discussion, this game's mechanics are prime for player alliances and joining others' ranks, if that's what he's trying to do. No, you're not. Yeah. You're giving yourselves away. You need to cast your spells first. First one to throw one out. Ah, okay. You can't outrun them, but you can outplay them. Oh, those weren't in English. I couldn't read them. Masadora, City of Magic. Warp to a city of your choice. Yeah. Ah, okay. That's where he went. Yeah, it's kind of like, let's get inoculated. Let's like go into the doctor's office to get a shot. Like, let's get rid of this affliction you have. He looks cool. I like him. He looks cool. The bomber. We got terrorists in this show? In this game? No spell in this game is capable of injuring people, let alone killing them. Which means that you won't be harmed or killed by any spell that's been cast on you. But you gotta watch out for the players themselves with their nen. Okay, so we already know these two cards. So could someone's nen be you made a bomb and somebody ate it? He will know everything. He knows everything about your book, the restricted slots, there's your spell cards, and then knows your location. Okay, whoever that guy is, the blonde guy, I think he's cool. I like his look. I like his aesthetic. I need to know these people's names. It's gonna take a while for me to remember them. The fairy girl. A violent faction hunting players. The bombers? The bomber. So is that a person or a group? 3 ways to acquire item cards. So there's spell cards and item cards. Buying them, finding them, trading with them, or buying them. Steal them, or can you buy? Okay, so you can't buy. You have to earn them. None of these are in English. The card's difficulty obtained, then the card transformation limit. Yeah, so if you have like 3... their ring disappears and their cards are lost, meaning they get refreshed into the game. Yeah. If you kill a player, you can't take his cards because his ring got destroyed. Yeah. But people still die. But now it's backfiring. If no one can find a way to beat it, the killing will only continue. Nobody's beat the... Wait. I thought people have cleared the game before. This guy still kind of creeps me out. This guy is an enigma. This guy looks mysterious. I feel like he's powerful. It's always the quiet ones like that. Asking the right questions, not raising his voice, only speaking when, not talking just to talk, speaking when there's a point to. Gon and Killua would be like, this is too fucking complicated, this group's too big, we're playing by ourselves. This is not what they're here for. I'm here to find my dad. And Killua's just following Gon right now. See, Gon's getting upset. He looks aggravated. There's a reward? How much is Batera paying? How much is Batera paying? 50 billion. Okay. 53 players. It'll take 2 months to collect the remaining spell cards, and 1 month to get the cards we need. They don't want to join. At least for sure Gon doesn't want to. How long are we gonna be in this game? If I obtain an SS rank card on my own, what's my cut? So he's going for the top tier. 500 million for a card of... Like, he's like, God damn! No. He's like, sorry. I'm not here for this. You heard the leader. I love that. We're not splitting up this duo. They have a bond that transcends mere companionship. We'll need you to first exit the... We'll need you to first exit the game so the spells placed on you can be removed. So... once you're back in the game, wait by the starting point. We'll come get you. If you have any cards in your free slots, give them to me now. These people... Now I'm kind of sussed. Now I'm kind of suspicious of these guys. Okay, there's a lot of lore going on. I'm sorry I have to keep rewinding, but I don't want to miss things. Your data says, but your data disappears if you don't return within 10 days. Why can't you just jump in and out then? I didn't even know you could leave the game willy-nilly. Send one target player off the island. What the hell? This might have been the best choice the two of them made, because I do not really trust those people anymore. I'm not sure, though. I could be super paranoid. Stop apologizing. Hey, we'll take on whoever comes. Only that guy knows. No, he's playing this game to discover himself too. You're wrong. I'm playing this game because... we know why. Nothing but bad things to say about the game my dad made. It can't be just that. Oh yeah, he said, enjoy the game, have fun. They're trying to meta the game. He just wants to enjoy the game. Now he knows it's more serious. He just watched a player die. Hate the player, not the game. So, seeing some morals here in this gray world? Though it does, yeah, it still feels lame, but you're technically still following the rules of the game. Whoever created this game had to have thought of everything. Thank you. Yep. I'm glad I got to know you. That sounds like... that's almost like something like... you guys have been friends for a while. It's not something new. I should be thanking you. I'm the one who's glad that I got to... oh my god. Oh. Hey, fairy girl, what are you doing? Why are you watching them? The friendship and innocence of two... so did she ditch that group too? Hey, 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 hey! Be cool. What do you... they've reaffirmed their friendship. Hell yeah, they have. Who the hell are you? And who the hell are those guys? I don't trust those guys anymore. Now that we're finally not just in the game, but playing the game, there's a lot to talk about this discussion. We've encountered our first handful of cards, and we've been introduced to a good dozen or more new characters, to which I have not remembered anyone's names whatsoever. If they were even said, in one ear, out the other, that's my biggest problem. Just minutes after leaving the spawn area, Gon and Killua are confronted by a player who comes down from the sky like a comet in what is essentially this game's version of a fast travel. We see and get to read a few of his cards, and we see him actually utilize the cards with the book, which showed there is an actual digital display touchscreen inside the book. As soon as that guy summoned his book and I saw that, I immediately said, oh, this is exactly like Yu-Gi-Oh! The book is essentially the dual disc you use to play the cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! And then tie that to the conversation with everyone in the town plaza, find, trade, steal cards, villainous organizations formed around seizing cards from other players. Yu-Gi-Oh! If there are trap cards and monster cards and fusions, that will be so fucking cool. Again, Yu-Gi-Oh! Let's actually get down to the... Let's actually just go down the list of the cards seen in this episode. That'll help me. I counted 6 cards. I think that was all of them in this episode. So the very first card we witness is called Steel, and it is simple. A G200 ranked card. Helpful to see that visually. So now I understand when I see the letter and then the number, I know how to quickly rank that card in my head against all the other cards we'll see. It's a whatever card. Lets you see all the free slots of any player you've encountered during the game. And we see it was used to see Killua's slots are empty. It vanished. It was consumed. We also see the trace card. This one is sneaky. Unlike the Yu-Gi-Oh anime, players don't have to say a word when casting their cards. Opponents don't know what you're doing in that book, what's happening, what card is being used, anything. In Yu-Gi-Oh, for the sake of the show and us as watchers, they would always announce their card being played into action, like, I summon Dark Magician. So if it was like that, this character would have yelled, I summon Trace. Gon and Killua still wouldn't know right off the bat what Trace does, but they could easily deduce from the logic of the word trace what most likely hit Killua. Trace just lets the player be able to see the location of that player at all times, like a tracking beacon tagging someone in a video game. If you have a vendetta against somebody or you actually have a target, that's very useful. If that character's not really specifically trying to go after Killua, as we see when his ass ran away with his tail tucked between his legs, then it's not really that useful. Also, it got consumed and vanished when he used it. But then I don't know if it's vanishing to go back into your card book, or it's vanishing because it got used and now you don't have it anymore. Then we saw Adhesion. Some weird titles to these cards, Adhesion. Trace at least made sense. But also, like, Steal doesn't make any sense because you don't actually steal any cards with it. You just view the free slots. Same with Adhesion. Adhesion, that's a scientific term. Adhesion is just like the attraction between different substances, like dissimilar objects clinging to each other. That's like a chemistry. I have no clue how that relates to this card, which allows players to view the complete data set of another player's restricted slots at all times. And the only way is it because it's at all times, so you're stuck. The two players are always connected, even though the victim, that player, wouldn't want to be. So this card is obviously useless against new players, but could be really strong against seasoned veteran players who could have the best cards. Then, in the town, Gon and Killua eat their pasta in under the time limit challenge, easy for them, to each win a Galgaida card. I don't know if it's either Galgaida. I wasn't really paying attention to how it was pronounced by the chef or that cat guy. A free slot card of, just a random fish. Has no other use than being delicious when cooked. And it has a high conversion count. So it's kind of like one of those standard food consumables if you're hungry, I guess. Like in most video games, like I'll just say The Witcher and stuff. Eating and collect your bread, collect your water. Eating and drinking restores health and stamina. Obviously not here. I mean, you obviously kind of just get hungry like normal, and you need to eat in a way that I guess affects your stamina and your energy. So maybe it's another video game reference, Red Dead Redemption 2, just like that. Or eating restores your stamina cores. I don't know. In Greed Island, this just seems like a useless card, unless this card gets utilized like what I just said. And actually, I was wrong earlier when I said cards don't need to be verbalized, because we're moving on to the next card, because the next card is Return, warping back or fast traveling to any city of choice you've been to before, that you've unlocked that area. And kind of like in Assassin's Creed, when you have to climb a tower and you have to synchronize, and now you have that fast travel point. It's pretty much just like that. But remember, this manga and this was created like 20 years or 15 years before any of those games really came out. Assassin's Creed pretty much created and cemented what we now know as the modern open world video game. So Togashi, kind of ahead of his time. And that player did activate that card verbally. And I'm pretty sure that one has to be verbalized to even activate, because you would have to state where you want to go. How else would the card know? It's not reading your mind. But last and certainly definitely not least, a super important card we learn about right at the end of the episode. Is it leave or is it leap? I don't know. I can't remember what it was. An incredibly important card, I feel like, which I didn't think this card would even exist. I don't know why I thought you were stuck in the game. I mean, I guess you are without this card, or somebody I don't know. This card forces another player to be transferred out of the game. And I'm pretty sure it said they were talking about forced. Like, it can happen to you without your consent, I think. So, and then in order to come back in the game, you just plug yourself back in. The only downside to leaving, really, is that if you don't re-enter the game within 10 days, all your progress is lost. Because the game obviously wouldn't just let you, say you grab one of the most important cards in the game. Like if there was a card only one person could hold at a time, the game wouldn't let that person leave the game indefinitely with that card saved in their ring, in their inventory. The game gives you 10 days to return before that card from your inventory is cleared, and the game loot, that piece of game loot, is reset for somebody else to now acquire. So now I am really starting to understand, hone in on the mechanics of this game. I'm sure there's going to be even more exposition, more lore to the game, more complex mechanics, and I can't wait for that. But, understanding why and how everything revolves around these cards. And I said it in my episode 60 discussion, going back to the ranking system. I said I knew this mechanic was going to be dangerous. An SS3 card, for example, is, the most difficult card to obtain, and it's extremely rare, with only 3 copies allowed in card form at any time. There being a limit on how many cards there can be on Greed Island, of course players were going to start killing each other in order to free up the conversion space and acquire those cards themselves instead. Gon's refusal to join the group's efforts relating to this was really interesting, and I understood perfectly where he was coming from. Gon said, Jin just wants us to have fun. He wouldn't make a game full of killing and stealing. And I don't think that's Gon being naive. Gon is right, or maybe if he's not expressly right or correct objectively, I can say Gon does have a point. It's not the game itself encouraging or forcing players to kill and steal. It's the players trying to meta the game and exploit the game, grease the mechanics to get an easier, more straightforward path to winning and clearing the game. In this situation, you do hate the player and not the game. When someone says, don't hate the player, hate the game, that's in like real world sports or regular games. They mean you should point fingers at the system or the rules the players are simply operating with, rather than the players themselves, because those players might be acting, just according to the constraints they're given of the situation. They're not necessarily out of malice or malicious intent. But this ain't hockey. This ain't basketball, baseball, football. This ain't gym class. These killers are obviously acting with malicious intent. They're fucking the game up the game isn't fucking itself up. Gon wants to have fun and play good. He isn't looking for a cut of some Jenny jackpot or looking to spend his life in this game trying to master it and become, the god. Whatever gets him to his dad. Jing, to me, wouldn't want to see Gon participating in that crap. I feel like that's not having fun with the game. The players who kill others for the sake of the cards, to me, are like the same who, used to do those money glitches in GTA Online back in 2013 when it first came out. I remember that. Or, the players who cheese boss fights in From Software games, Dark Souls or Elden Ring. Sure, it's an exploit you can pull off, just pull up a YouTube tutorial, but you're still taking advantage of an element in the game's code, clearly not meant to be a part of the game. So that is cheap. On top of it, all of this is caused by external forces and motivations at play outside of the game. The huge financial rewards don't exist within Greed Island itself for clearing the game. That solely exists outside the game from Batera. Sure, there could be some grand prize from Jing and the other designers of the game for completing it, or there could be nothing, just a, hey, props to you for finishing the game. The only guaranteed prize benefit is the large cash reward waiting for you on the outside if you achieve what Batera wants and what they contracted you for. Those players aren't in here to truly play the game, experience it, and beat it for themselves, to say they could and to say that they did for personal glory or pride or what have you. They're in there to complete a job and to get paid. These players, they might have been deemed worthy by Sisguera to work for him and Batera and enter the game with the consoles they bought, worthy on those accounts, but I doubt they're seen as worthy in the eyes of the creators. But hey, they entered the game, they're allowed to play. What can you do? As they're not cheating, they're not wall hacking like in Valorant or Marvel Rivals or whatever. They're not hacking, so there's no reason to ban them. They're just, you got to patch. If you don't like the way a game is being metafied or whatever, you got to patch the game. So you can't, you do have to hate the player and not the game. Though I am still very intrigued and eager to see how these alliances and factions play out. Like the Bomber, which is singular. Is that a person or is that a group? Is it the Bombers or the Bomber? I don't know. Plot elements like this I'm looking forward to seeing and getting deep into, especially when you have what sounds like a terror group in this game, a terror organization, the Bombers, and then the Phantom Troop members are going to show up at some point too. Two groups who have no issue murdering people or completing the game or progressing through the game through lethal means. Not only does the game's inherent difficulty necessitate cooperation for survival and progression, but also the presence of multiple antagonists, and not just antagonistic individuals, but whole organized groups and factions. It's smart to assemble alliances, exchange information, devise strategies, work together. Gon and Killua's decision to operate and play independently is gonna be a great contrast to this. Their self-reliance. How is that gonna be a disadvantage? How is that gonna be an advantage? How is that gonna be good for them? How is that gonna kind of screw them over when something bad happens? Gon wants to find his father. Killua, obviously in his mind, we could hear in his inner monologue, at least admits he is here for his own reasons, though he cuts himself off before telling us or telling Gon. They both have their purposes, is what I'm trying to say, but only Gon knows his, but we all know Gon's. And to get there, these two obviously view Greed Island as a sandbox to play in, as a training ground to improve, enhance your Nen abilities that you only manifested good enough to get approved by Sesguera. We need to keep going. Combat skills are going to be crucial here. Operating independently, it lets the two of them confront whatever challenges directly and their way. And also, let's not forget their journey so far since episode 1 to now, 61 episodes, has exposed them to so much betrayal and deceit, manipulators, not Nen manipulators and double crossers. They don't have Leorio with them anymore. They don't have Kurapika. They only have each other. It's no surprise at all their past experiences so far would lead to a cautious approach regarding alliances and teaming up with strangers. By remaining autonomous, at least for now, in their minds, they minimize the risk of this, and that. The two of them believe in their capabilities. They'll take full responsibility for their successes together and also their failures together. And I'm going to end this discussion talking about the end of the episode. The most important, best part, end of the concluding dialogue between our boys. Oh my God. I watched that scene like 3 times after I finished recording. It's so amazing and profound. Their friendship has deepened so well. They've grown up so much. This scene not only reinforces their bond, but also beautifully highlights the transformative impact they've had on each other's lives. These two young boys show more healthy masculinity and emotional vulnerability than most grown adult men in the real world do. Remember back on Whale Island when they told one another they were each other's first friend? And now watch this scene. Oh my God, again. Where are the tissues? I need some. I need some Kleenex. Two boys with sheltered upbringings, both wanting more. They leave home, they meet. But you know what the definition of home is? Not where you're from, but where you're wanted. That is their friendship, their companionship. I say this to my friends all the time. It is the lives we encounter that make life worth living. Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few will ever experience what you really are. As the two of them are walking together after leaving the group, Gon expresses his gratitude to Killua, thanking Killua for being his friend. Killua, though initially silent, internally reflects on how meeting Gon has profoundly changed his life, acknowledging that he is the one who should be expressing such gratitude, if not more. It's not as easy for Killua as it is for Gon to openly say these things. Gon's straightforward thankfulness comes easy to him. It exemplifies his general, sincere and open nature. His ability to vocalize appreciation without any reservation or hesitation reinforces, just how emotionally intelligent he is. I think Gon as a character doesn't get enough credit for that. And it underscores the value he places on his friendships. Killua's response is introspective. Trained as an assassin, he was conditioned his entire life before running away to suppress emotions and view relationships as liabilities. Meeting Gon challenged this entire worldview, shattered it, introducing genuine companionship and trust into his life for the very first time. His internal acknowledgement that he owes so much to Gon signifies how life-changing that shift from isolation to connection has been for Killua. Gon's journey to find his father is always talked about more. He's the main character, and it's the main underlying plot through line across everything so far since episode 1. But Killua's journey needs to be talked about too, a lot. He has ventured on a journey from solitary assassin to loyal friend. Gon's unwavering kindness, but more important, his acceptance, has been instrumental in Killua going and breaking down the emotional barriers he had erected. He's allowed himself to experience and appreciate genuine friendship. Gon, he has an innate ability to win anyone over, make them smile, bring them onto his side, and more beautifully and importantly, inspire change. Gon's friendship provides Killua with a real sense of belonging and purpose beyond his family's expectations. Togashi wants us to know and believe in the healing power of friendship, that meaningful relationships can lead to profound self-discovery and change, even in those with the most guarded hearts. And that is perfectly where I want to end today's discussion. Hit that like button for me if you enjoyed the video. Even better, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Keep the conversation going down in the comments below, and check out my Patreon where you get early access and bonus exclusive content if you're interested. Having said all that, and with that said, until next time, thank you and have a good one. Peace.